Why are bees so important to you achieving what you want to do? Let's find out. Hello, welcome back. Hi, bees. Why are bees so important to your success and you achieving stuff in your life, whatever that may be? Well, this all comes back to Saturday morning and I was lying in bed.
Flashback.
So I was lying in bed and I had the curtains open and I had the window open because it's been so hot here. I could hear this buzzing and there was a bee. Now I've got kind of one big window and then one at the side that opens. Buzzing around this window. So I was just lying there watching it. At first I was a bit sort of, okay, it's going to go in a minute. It's not going to come and sting me, it's a bee. Buzzing around the window, almost like sort of hitting the window, buzzing round. Suddenly I had this thought, why is it doing that? Why doesn't it just fly out the window? Because the window's open, you can feel the breeze. It made me think of the similar situation. I think there's probably a meme about this, but it's a picture of a horse that's tied up just to like a plastic chair, and the horse is not running away, when it could literally just walk off and just drag the chair with it. There's nothing actually stopping him. What it is, it's the perceived barrier to what it wants to do. So it wants to walk off, it feels itself tied up, and in its mind that means it can't go anywhere. Even though it's tied to a plastic chair which will move like that, the perception is I'm tied up, I can't move. So there's this bee buzzing around the window, but the idea is it's trapped and it can't get out, and therefore it's almost not looking for the open window that's literally there.
End of flashback.
How does this relate to you and achieving stuff you want to do, whatever it may be? Well, it comes down to, as I said, the whole thing of perceived barriers. Often in life you have things that maybe hold you back for whatever reason, and they're real barriers that can prevent you from doing something. That's almost fine because that's real and physical, and you can work out, okay, there's a real barrier here, there's a wall. How can I get on the other side of that wall? Let me look for a door. Okay, that's the logic, and you find a door and you go through it. Hypothetical, but you get the idea. What seems to be the bizarre thing is when you have these perceived barriers, you don't try to go over, go round, go under. You just seem to accept them as it's a barrier, that's it. And actually, it's not a barrier, it's a perceived barrier. But you seem to put more weight and power on this perceived barrier than a real one. And it's quite bizarre because when you think of a real barrier, whether it be the wall, fence, whatever, immediately you can think, well, okay, it's that high, I could possibly jump that high or climb it. You can kind of put a strategy or start thinking about strategies to get round, under or over it. But with perceived barriers, it's almost like, because they are perceived and sort of abstract, that stops you from thinking of ways to get round them. Another way of naming perceived barriers is almost like limiting beliefs. It's the same kind of thing. Why don't we do anything about them? We've got a perceived barrier, that's it. No way that's ever gonna change. Give up, not bother. If you're financially stuck, your income just about or maybe just doesn't meet your expenditure each month, and I'm not talking about having an extravagant lifestyle, just basic like eating and living, when you're kind of building up a debt basically, you go, well, I've got this job, yeah, that's what I do from my skills and experience, etc. That's all I can earn, that's it. I've heard this a million times. I've tried other things and it was too stressful or it didn't work out, and 400 other million excuses, and then it's accepted. That's it. It is what it is, and that's my life. That's my lot. And at least I've got a roof over my head and food to eat, and I should be grateful. Which is true. You should be grateful for everything in your life. But this is the huge but. Why are you accepting like a mediocre life? Why not go for the next level or increase your income or something? This is where we hit the perceived barrier. I've attempted things before, I've tried things before and it didn't work out. I tried to work for myself before and it was too stressful. No. That's a very narrow thinking mindset, because yes, you may have done something before, you may have worked for yourself before, you may have whatever you've done, but not every option is exactly the same as that. Working for yourself or having your own business, however you want to term it, it's not always exactly the same. There's different options of doing things. So you could work for yourself as a window cleaner, and generally that means you pay yourself, you go around, you clean windows, you do the physical work and you get paid. You don't have a boss, you work for yourself, the master of your own destiny.
Well, thank you.
That's one way of working for yourself. Another option, work yourself, YouTube. I'm just going, can be other end of the spectrum. A YouTuber works for themselves. Now they record some videos or a video all day, edit, etc. And then they get paid either by advertising or products they sell through affiliate links, etc, etc. Or somebody who does, say, internet marketing. Any kind of working online is my point in this. And so they're both working for yourself, but very, very different experiences of the work. I'm not saying one is working harder than the other, but if you've only ever sort of gone down the sort of, say, the window cleaner route, or the plumber, or the electrician, you know, that kind of thing where you physically have to do the work, that is a very, very different experience of working than doing something online, or even an author, that kind of thing, where the time you spend physically doing the job is not what you get paid for. You get paid for the end result. To be honest, most jobs, pretty much all jobs really, you get paid for the time you're doing the actual job. As I said, working for yourself isn't always the same experience, the same kind of thing. So when it comes to, like, why don't you change your situation, earn some more money doing something else? Having that mindset of close, going, well, I've tried working for myself and doing something, and I was too tired, it was too much stress, doing all the you know, invoicing and accountancy and stuff and paying people's wages, it was just got all too much. No one's denying that, but that's not the only option for working for yourself. That's my point. And so there's that perceived barrier that I can't do more than what I am doing in my job, and I'm just about kind of making ends meet. I can't increase that, because the only way I can see it is either get a second job, which means working more time, so more tired, etc., less time with the family, or do something on my own. But I've tried that, and that's even more tiring. It's that perceived barrier, and this is my whole point with that bit of a tangent off there about perceived barriers. Often you have perceived barriers, and they are often you have barriers that really aren't there, but you've got this perception of the situation that causes you to almost put this barrier up and stops you from doing it. The point is, you start to do something you love to do. This is where the whole profit from your passion comes from. You start to do something that you love, and then you just start to increase it. And because you love it, because you've got the passion, that's why you keep doing it. And you increase it, increase it, increase it, increase it. And then basically you can change your life by doing something you actually love doing. And it's not a chore, it's not a job. You just love it. And that's the point. Doing something you love to do kind of suppresses and gets rid of completely these perceived barriers, which are 100%, there's no such thing, hence they're perceived. I suppose the clue's in the name really. There's so many times when you put up barriers that prevent you from doing something. It's in your mind. They are perceived barriers, not real barriers. And if you really think about it and maybe be really philosophical about it, there's actually nothing that stops you doing anything. You can literally do anything you want. So why don't you do it?
I don't know.
You put up a barrier and it'd be easy to knock it down, because it really is. Just think about, what do you want to do? If you want to change your life, you want to get out of debt, if you want to do something, you just change, you know. If you hate your job and all that, you want more money for a holiday, more money for kids, to go to college, whatever it may be, or just a more comfortable life, so you haven't got to worry about if the car breaks down or if the boiler breaks down, you can just fix it. It's not a problem. I'm not in any way saying money solves all problems. It doesn't, but it gives you the flexibility to not have to worry about all the everyday that you shouldn't need to worry about. Things like living costs, car, boiler, and all of that should just be taken care of. So then you can just concentrate on having a great life and enjoying your life with your friends and family, and not worry about all that crap. That's where money comes in. You know, money itself does not make you happy, no, but poverty certainly doesn't make you happy.
Flashback.
The bee flying around, it thinks it's trapped because it's tried going through the window, couldn't. In the end, it just sat on the windowsill and just kind of crawled about. It's almost like it had given up on the idea of going to the outside. It had tried, hit the barrier, I thought, okay, no point trying. When there's an open window sitting there, literally 2 feet away.
End of flashback.
The fact is that if you've had a previous experience of something not working, the reality is that specific thing didn't work. Not everything around that type of thing. And it could be timing, it could be location, there's so many different moving parts of this. But the point is that something doesn't work, immediately we put a barrier around to say, okay, everything of that type cannot work. So you sort of do something, it doesn't work out, okay, well that's it, I'm never going to try anything in that genre again, ever. That's ridiculous, for f***ing sake. So stop with these crappy perceived barriers with your life and just think, what do you want to do? What do you really, really want to do? And then write down things you want to do. And then write down the barriers, the barriers that you're coming up with. Why can't you do that? And I guarantee they are all made up crap. Don't live your life inside perceived barriers. Live it the best you can that you deserve. That's it for today. Hope you got some value from this. If you did, smash that like button so it's nice and blue like the sky has been today. And thank you so much for everyone who has subscribed. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't, as you know always, if you subscribe, it'll make my cat, who is a she still, very, very happy. And give me a little tickle under there. So please subscribe if you haven't, and Luna will be super happy, and I'll get her to send you a message on here soon. For now, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Thanks again for watching, guys. I really, really do appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do so down here, and check out my other video down here. Remember, live your best life and profit from that passion. See you next time. Bye-bye.